bless you. We see the Spirit of God within you, guiding, protecting, and prospering you always. Always, always, always. Think about the children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, and just enfold them in that love and in that power and in that blessing. Yes. All right. So off we go to, hold on, a couple of little fun things for us to think about. Because if you're thinking of, we're going to talk about the power of our thoughts and healing in our bodies. And so this woman says, I woke up this morning determined to eat right and exercise. But that was 4 hours ago when I was younger and full of hope. I'd grow my own vegetables so I could eat healthier if only I could find bacon seeds. Some of my friends exercise every day. Meanwhile, I'm watching a show I don't like on TV because the remote fell on the floor. Last one. Apparently exercise helps you with decision making. It's true. I went for a run this morning and decided I'm never going to do that again. There we go. So the humor opens our souls and our hearts to the message so that we receive it better and better and better. And today I'm talking about a heritage of faithfulness. This is the third week in giving us our unity fundamentals and our unity basics. We talked about Myrtle Fillmore 2 weeks ago, Charles Fillmore last week, and today it's kind of a combination of three of the foundational teachings that they gave us. I think new people come to unity, and we assume we've been in it for a long time, and that not that we know it all, but that the teachings are new to people, and so there's never any harm in doing a refresher course and sprinkling in some aha thoughts about unity that you may not have considered before. So we know that possibility thinkers, are you a possibility thinker? Possibility thinkers love to tread where others have not yet ventured. But fearful thinkers on the other hand, stay within the prescribed boundaries of what's known and proven and tested and has always been the norm. I did entitle our message today, A Heritage of Faithfulness, because the dictionary defines heritage as anything that's inherited, especially when it's regarded as worthy of preservation. Worthy of preservation, and certainly the teachings the Fillmores gave us are worthy of not only preservation but activation in our lives. 125 years ago plus now, a group of people who were possibility thinkers caught an idea for a more meaningful faith. And they were committed, intelligent, loving people with deep faith, but the religion of their day was proving to be unsatisfactory. And their religion, they said, made statements that the adherents to their faith would be given a place in heaven in an afterlife with all kinds of rewards, while their lives here on earth were filled with sickness and poverty and fear and loss. And they wanted a spirituality that was relevant and practical to their everyday lives, and one that produced satisfying results. And they defined satisfying results as a healthy body, and peace of mind, and resources and financial abundance, really, to live a life that was good, guidance, meaningful work, love, sense of well-being, all in the here and now, not in the afterlife. They wanted it, if there's a God, I don't want to, why not just kill yourself and get there faster if there's something better, right? Have you ever wondered that? Have you ever had that thought? If everything's so great in the afterlife, why stay here on earth? Anyway, they defined satisfying results really as a sense of well-being, all in the here and now. And they made an earnest study of positive, practical Christianity, and from it they gave us a heritage of spiritual principles so that we could enrich our lives and live healthy, happy, successful lives. So this morning I want to give you 3 of their foundational principles that they taught and give a little bit of a message around each one. And the first one is up there. They left us a heritage that all visible things have their origin in the invisible. That's a slide, Jack. They found that the great causing power is mind. And only through the knowledge of this power can we deal successfully with the negative conditions that show up in our lives, that show up as painted on a canvas of our lives. And it doesn't matter if you need physical healing, or you need money to pay your bills, or you want more fulfilling work, or you want to be a better person, or you want to find your true love. You don't have to know how the invisible power works, only that it does, and you have to be willing to use it, to open to it, to allow it to work on your behalf. And you don't have to, sometimes I sit down in prayer and I've got this mental construction list of, well, I have to know this, and this has to flow this way, and I have to do that. No, you just have to open in prayerful reflection, or silent reflection, and just be still. What is that? Psalm 46:10? Be still and know that I am God. I don't know how it works to figure out, how to get me to my appointments on time, or how to heal my body, or any of that. But I just allow it. So I begin to move upon the earth with ease and grace and poise, allowing Spirit to kind of not guide me, but pull me into the direction I need to go. Maybe you have high blood pressure. Your family had it. Your parents had it. Your relatives all have it. So we have to begin to think differently. Rather than say, I don't see how this could happen, how I could not have it, because everyone in my family had it. It's inherited, and we all know about that, right? You have to start making an internal shift in your thinking. And you can't say, well, I don't have high blood pressure. You could say that. But maybe you start by saying, I'm willing to have this change somehow, right? Because what that does is lower your resistance to being so certain in your mind that this is something you have, it's inherited, everyone in your family has it, you never get rid of it, you buy one of those cuffs, you check your blood pressure, it's always high. No. I'm willing to have this change somehow. I'm willing for this condition in my life to be altered somehow for the good. I have a slide that says, I surrender to the wisdom and strength of Spirit. Right? I surrender to the wisdom and strength of Spirit. Look how relaxed this guy is. You think he's worried about anything right now? Just in those moments. Those nanoseconds in our own mind and heart are infinity in God. Infinity in God. And if you can just slow yourself down and catch yourself into a moment of, I am now in the presence of pure being, immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. And just hold that. Surrender to the wisdom and the strength of Spirit. What happens then is, I like to say, you get the little me out of the way of the big I. The little Cherie, the little human self of me, out of the way of the grand idea of the divine. And that helps change and shift everything in you. It allows Spirit to flow in and through you and then out into your life without you having to do the heavy lifting, right? You do the mental work, and then the rest flows out of you. The second idea that they left us with as a heritage is the body is formed by the action of our thought. That our body and our health are an outpicturing of what we're holding in consciousness. We talked about that in the little class this morning. That when you look in the mirror, what you see is what you are dominantly holding in your consciousness. And what you're saying to yourself, and the words you're speaking to your body. What does it say here? If you don't like what you see or what you're experiencing, you must form a new mental image. And that image is I am-age, right? What is the image that you're holding? You change what you're doing, what you're thinking, what you're speaking, and what you're feeding your body and your mind. And rather than say something like, my latest x-ray showed this terrible thing, you have to begin to praise your body, to speak words of life to your body, and thank it for your glorious life. Every breath that you take is animated in and through you. And regardless of appearances, you speak words of life that are in harmony with the truth of God's nature in you. I am life, I am health. There's another one here. I'm strong, healthy, vital, and alive. I move with ease and grace. All my joints are flexible and strong. Do you get up in the morning and you get out of bed? It's like, oh my gosh, I've got to do my back exercises to strengthen those muscles because and it's reality for you. It's reality in the collective consciousness of the world that as we age, we're not as flexible. Our joints are stiff, our eyesight diminishes, our hearing goes down, but stop with all of that. You say, but it's true. It's not true in spirit. It's not true in the Spirit of God of you. It's true in what's showing up in the human flesh, but who's directing that? You are. You are. And it's not an easy thing. I had lunch with somebody this week, and we were talking about how mindful we have to be. What an energetic thought it is to be thinking that every word we speak affirms the life in our body and the health in our body. I am strong, healthy, vital, and alive. I move with ease and grace. All my joints are flexible. The Fillmores asked us to do two things. Unity really teaches two things when you're thinking about changing a condition in your body or in your life. I mean, their ministry was really about physical healing, but it flows over into healing anything. The conditions in your life, the conditions in your finances, the conditions in your family, whatever it is. But the two things that they said change everything are prayer and right thinking. Prayer and right thinking. So prayer is that opening yourself. You know, I walk myself down into be still and know that I am God. Then I whisper it, be still and know that I am God. And then silent. Until I hold that moment and I know that I'm connected. And in that moment, in that silence, I don't really have to do anything. But right thinking, in that moment of silence, if I say, yes, I am whole. My body is strong, healthy, and vitally alive. That's prayer and right thinking. That's getting yourself open and receptive to the flow of spirit, and then doing what the medical profession and the science people are telling us now in the neuroplasticity of reprogramming your mind. You build the new neural networks, and in an affirmation, and in denial, you let the old neural networks in your brain atrophy away and die away. So it takes repetition. I am strong, healthy, vitally alive. I move with ease and grace. All my joints are flexible and strong. My hearing is good. My eyesight is beautiful. Whatever it is, you get yourself into that prayerful, mindful meditation, prayer, whatever, and then speak those words of life and build that, plant that neural network, and then strengthen it, and then build it, and let everything else false that's generating dis-ease in your body fall away. When you use those two things, you're not denying that you have an illness. You're not denying there's a tumor in you or a kidney stone or that your blood pressure is high. What you are denying is that it has any ultimate power over the truth of God in you. That God is more powerful. God is all powerful. And you may have a condition, but it's no match for the intelligence, wisdom, and power of spirit. None. It's no match. So we want to adopt and hold the ideal pattern of thought and hold it vigilantly until it routes out everything that's not in agreement with the alignment of your health, your life, the conditions of your life in spirit. I was reading in Charles Fillmore this week in his book, Atom Smashing Power of Mind, and he says amazing things. You know, when you think about this, Myrtle lived to be, I think, 86. Charles lived to be 94 in the 30s and 40s. You know, we're just living into our 90s now. So it was really relevant that they began to work with these ideas of energetic life in the body way back then. Remember when I shared with you a few weeks ago about Myrtle Fillmore? She was beginning to take hold of these ideas when she was a young person, and when she was in high school, the Civil War was on. When she graduated from high school, shortly after that, Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. That's when these ideas were forming. So to say that they lived up into their 80s and their 90s when most people were dying, remember when it used to be you'd retired at 50, got the gold watch at 55, and most people died a few years later? You know, and now we're living easily into our 90s and beyond. And we should live, Charles Fillmore said, forever, but that was last week's sermon. All right, here we go. He says some very interesting things. I think I want to read it accurately. Hold on. My eyes are clear eyes, bright eyes. I see with the light of spirit. Every affirmation. I'm just magnifying the page. Let us repeat that the body of man is the visible record of his thoughts. Ta-da! What are you thinking about your body? It is the individual's interpretation of his identity, and each individual shows in his body just what his views of life are. The body is the record of the mind. The body is the record of the mind of its owner. Your body is the record of your mind. Thou picturing of what you're holding in consciousness. The individual may become any type of being that he elects to be. We select. We choose. We choose the mental model, and the body images it. So the body is the image and likeness of the individual's idea. We may embody any conception of life or being that we can conceive. The body is the exact reproduction of the thoughts of its occupant. As a man thinks in his mind and heart, so is his body. Pretty profound, isn't it? I mean, because you sit there and you think, and there's no blame or shame or anything in it, because we're a collective consciousness that you turn on the TV and every commercial is about some illness that you might have. My God, does that. You know, you can stop with all that. Shut that off and just say, no, you know, that has no power over me. My thoughts are healthy and whole and vital. I'm strong, healthy, vitally alive. I move with ease and grace. All my joints are flexible and strong in spirit. You know, that's my medication and my meditation is what I'm saying to my body. What does he say here? The body is the record of the mind of its owner. The individual may become any type of being that he elects to be. We select the mental model and the body images it. The body is the exact reproduction of the thoughts of its occupant. He goes on to say, the choice lies with you. The choice lies with you. The body, I've crossed out some excerpting. The reason I'm not stumbling over this, I've lined through certain things to be brief. The 5 best things about preaching: be brief, brother, be brief. So, doing the 5 B's here. The choice lies with you. The body merely executes the mandates of the mind. Therefore, as a man thinketh within himself, in his vital nature, I'd say in your spiritual nature, so is he. Each individual is just what he believes he is. You believe you're getting old, your body's going to respond to that. Then he goes on to say the resurrection. The resurrection of the body has nothing whatever to do with death, except that we may resurrect ourselves from every dead condition into which ignorance has plunged us. Right? So we can all leave here today resurrected into a new thought about our body. That I am a child of God. I am strong, healthy, and vitally alive. I move with ease and grace. Every part of every cell, organ, action, and function in my body is alive. Why? Because I'm resurrecting myself from every dead condition into which ignorance has plunged me. Believing that we diminish as we get old, diminish our eyesight, our hearing, our ability to stand and walk upright and be active and move gracefully. That's all ignorance. It's collective consciousness that pervades every part of the universe, but we have to step out of that stream of consciousness and begin to be a possibility thinker in terms of what's possible for our lives. What does he say here? To be resurrected means to get out of the place that you are in and get into another place. Resurrection is rising into new vigor, new prosperity, a restoration to some higher state. It is absurd to suppose that it applies only to the resurrection of a dead body. We've all resurrected our lives, haven't we? after the loss of a job, after a divorce. We've resurrected into new life. It's a lifting up. It's moving from one state of consciousness to another. Mr. Fillmore says this transformation is worked out by the individual himself, and it is not the result of physical death, but rather the death or annihilation of the negative beliefs that ignorance has stored in the cells of the body. Resurrection is first a mental resurrection, followed by the body demonstration. What are you saying to yourself? What are you saying about yourself? How are you resurrecting your thought to be a possibility thinker? Even if you say, I just can't believe all this, I'm going to die anyway. Just be a possibility thinker. It's possible that I could lower my blood pressure. It's possible that I could stop smoking. It's possible that I could overcome this addiction. It's possible that I no longer make kidney stones. It's possible that my back strengthens itself. Whatever it is. And Unity doesn't deny the intelligence and wisdom of the physicians, the doctors, the scientists. They're using infinite intelligence in their minds to help us heal. But when we get back of that external owie to what's causing it, what in my mind is causing this? And you don't want to do metaphysical malpractice on yourself. Oh, what in my consciousness brought this to me? But illness comes never to punish, but only to teach. So if there's something going on in your body, it means there's something going on in your consciousness that maybe needs alignment, realignment, right? Last thing they gave us, or not the only thing, but the three things today, they gave us all overcoming is a change of mind from negative, fearful thinking to truth, from worldly thought to God thought, from worldly belief that our body diminishes as we age, to spiritual thought that I am a child of God, vitally strong, healthy, and alive every day of my life, right? The way of overcoming is to first place yourself in the realization of your divine nature. I am a child of God. To know that relationship by, again, stepping back into that prayer and right thinking. I am a child of God. And then to demonstrate it in every thought, word, and deed. That's the hard part, right? That's the hard part. We get up from our prayer time, we're feeling so energized and alive, and then the phone rings. and somebody says something that just, The Christ consciousness is limitless life, strength, power. It is everywhere present, restoring me to perfect health now. I think that's a slide. All overcoming is a change of mind in our dominant beliefs. The Christ consciousness, we're in it like the wave in the ocean. We're swimming in it, not like the fish in the ocean, but like the wave that is the ocean. I am a part of God, and God is all there is. So whether you're overcoming negative thinking, a critical nature, drug addiction, behaviors like procrastination, jealousy, anger, the process is a change of mind from negative, fearful thinking to the truth of who you are and whose you are. I am a child of God, perfect, whole, and holy. Myrtle Fillmore says we must anchor ourselves in the highest spiritual thought of what we want to be and see, and be willing to continue our spiritual work until we see results. Until we see results. And the change that comes is incremental, as it was for Myrtle. She's 2 years, 8 hours a day, speaking words of life to her body to affect that change, from 3 months to live with tuberculosis to live 46 more years until she was up into her 80s. Incremental change. And it's not just in major overcomings. I was thinking about something months ago that I wanted to create, and I sat down to open myself to draw this into my life. And then right away a couple of thoughts came to me that weren't in alignment with what I was trying to create. See, illness comes never to punish, but only to teach. Well, wasn't an illness, I was creating something different, and I thought, so I was enlightened to change my thought about what I was trying to create. And then go about my day, and I get an email from a friend that has a picture attached to the email that's exactly the thing I'm visualizing. So I thought, the universe is catching my vibration, or I'm catching the universe's vibration, let's put it that way, right? And then I go out to the mailbox, and someone sent me a little gift that was just a little tiny thing, but it's a symbol of the very thing I'm trying to create. So the change is incremental, but you get little encouragements along the way. If you pay attention to the cosmic surprises that come, you can see that your consciousness is building. If you're affirming greater health for your body, every day in every way I'm getting better and better. And then you see little incremental changes of how you are stronger and healthier. Or I didn't remember that I forgot that I used to feel that way, you see. Incremental changes. They're encouraging, and again, we have to stay with it. To build that neural network takes time, takes repeated thought and energy. All overcoming, all creating is a change of mind from the negative, fearful thoughts to God thought. We have to get out of the mind virus and inoculate ourselves from that collective belief that this is not possible for me. So there's the 3 points that they left us with. All visible, lots of, hundreds of them, but these are the 3 today. All visible things have their origin in the invisible. The body is formed by the action of our thoughts. You look like what you're holding in consciousness. All overcoming is a change of mind from negative, fearful thinking to truth. So you look in the mirror and you go, I am a child of God. I'm an outpicturing of the vibrancy and the life and the health and the truth and the spirit and the energy and the love that I'm radiating, receiving and radiating in my consciousness. We're grateful to our founders for the heritage of spiritual principles like this that they left with us. And now it's our responsibility. The Fillmores have been gone for many years. It's our responsibility to carry on and be the possibility thinkers, the possibility provers. I believe that within the next 50 to maybe 100 years, we're going to reverse a lot of notions that have been in the collective consciousness. Starvation, disease, poverty, racism. We'll reverse those as facts of life and end their manifestation. We talked about that in the message, Best Things First, the 18 global initiatives, sustainable goals that the world is working on to lift up the world into better conditions. You can believe it, that we're changing things. 50 to 100 years, these things will be eliminated out of the collective consciousness. I hope so. In our message, Best Things First, I saw an interview with Bill Gates last week. Maybe some of you saw it. And he was talking about one of the sustainable goals that he's working on is ending child malnutrition. And he was on Stephen Colbert at the Late Show, and Stephen Colbert brought out these little tiny bars. They look like, the little Halloween chocolate bars, the little tiny ones, the mini size. So he brought out these little things, and they were gold. And Bill Gates said, well, we're working on malnutrition, and we're not doing very good, and yet the nutrients that the mother has when she's pregnant are vital to the development of the child. And then once the child is born out, the first 5 years, the nutrition that the child gets is imperative to the development, that if they don't get that in those initial years, they never catch up, he said. Physically, they never catch up with the nutrients needed to grow a healthy body. So to get the mother to take the vitamins has been a challenge, the cost, the getting them to, and all of that. And then, and just swallowing pills, right? And then to get the kids to take the vitamins was even tougher. So these little gold cubes are bouillon. And they put all the vitamins in the bouillon cubes. And now, when they drop the bouillon cube into a cup of water, they're ingesting all the nutrients that will help their pregnancy and grow a healthy child. And the children can drink that in their first 5 years of their life. Bouillon cubes. Isn't that amazing? So the infinite intelligence of spirit is working in and through all of us to be possibility thinkers. To be possibility thinkers in terms of how we can make the world a better place and how we can make our own life inside our own home better, inside our own temple of God, the body that we are. A Course in Miracles reminds us There's no order of difficulty in miracles. I love that parting of the Red Sea, right? There's no difficulty, there's no order of difficulty in miracles. But our collective consciousness must be positioned toward the outcomes that we want to see. The limited mind, Mr. Fillmore says, sees dead ends and believes in dire circumstances. Divine mind remembers all things are possible. It knows that no prognosis is set in stone, that the power to create our lives rests not in the hands of doctors, politicians, theologians, parents, not in medication, not in legislation. Problems will be transformed through awakening and the renewing of our minds. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And I believe that you've come to the planet at this time, as have I, because we have the consciousness, we have the willingness, we have the tools, we have the clarity of mind and the intelligence and the power of our collective consciousness together to release the people of the earth from pain and suffering, to be that lifting up energetic vibration. The issues that confront us that are in our field of awareness are there because we are the ones in the position to transform them. Right here, every Sunday, just by the prayers that we do. When we say the forgiving love of Jesus Christ sets all nations free to fulfill their destinies in peace. We're praying then for Israel and Palestine and Ukraine and Russia and every place where there's conflict in the world, inviting the infinite intelligence of spirit to take charge there. We're the consciousness. We're the ones that collect the power of our consciousness. Just as the individual is not given any challenges greater than he or she is capable of handling, so our civilization is capable of turning crisis into opportunity. And the things that we wake up to, the things that we achieve, will be the heritage of faithfulness that we leave for all of those coming behind us. Yes? Are you up for it? Yes. Do I get an amen? Amen. Yeah. All right. So let's take that idea into a time of prayer. And let's make some mental movies in our minds and in our hearts about the conditions of our lives. Be possibility thinkers. What did Mr. Fillmore say? He said, it's all up to us. All visible things have their origin in the invisible. So let's get still and take a couple of deep breaths in. Relax your mind, your heart, your body. Let the light of spirit move in and through you. Visualize it entering the top of your head, cascading over your face. Relax your jaw. Let it flow through your neck muscles, down over your chest, your abdomen, your lower body. Let it stream and strengthen your legs, your knees, your shins, your feet, your ankles. See it curve around your toes and come up the backs of your heels, up the backs of your legs, your thigh muscles, your calves, your buttocks, your spine, that beautiful spine that allows you to stand up straight, that is symbolic of the strength of your spirit. See every vertebrae responding now to the message and the love and the light of the Christ. Let it come up the back of your neck to the power of zeal and enthusiasm. Feel it tingle there. Let it enter your head, your mind, your brain, that place where neural networks are formed and built. And take an idea for your life that you want to build and strengthen in the neural network of your brain. I am healed and whole, maybe, would be your word. I am filled with the energy of spirit. I can do all things that need to be done by me. All things in my life conform themselves to the perfection of the Christ Spirit. What is it in your life right now that you want to strengthen? Harmony in your family? A release of anxiety or loneliness? And then invite your mind, your brain, and your body to hear your words, to drink them in like the sweetest nectar possible. Christ in me is limitless life, strength, power. Do you hear me, body? It's everywhere present, restoring me to perfect health now. You, my body, are a temple of the living Spirit of God. And you now begin to reflect that majesty, that poise, that grace, that power. I live in the majesty of spirit. Let's affirm that this morning. I live in the majesty of spirit. Again, I live in the majesty of spirit. Breathe it in. Feel it enlivening every cell in your body, every cell in any circumstance of your life that needs its energetic power. I live in the majesty of spirit. And then let yourself radiate it to those around you and your family, your loved ones, the person sitting on your left or your right, in front of you or behind you. Let the majesty of spirit be awakened in this ministry. The majesty of spirit is limitless life, strength, power, love. It is everywhere present, restoring us to perfection, to spirit's perfection now. And then let your attention turn to your loved ones, anyone you especially wish to bless, with the idea of the majesty of spirit circulating in and through their lives. Call their face into your mind, see them there before you in all their beauty, living in peace and poise, healed and whole. And we speak a word for others. You live in the majesty of spirit. Together, you live in the majesty of spirit. Your words have power. They can feel your blessing. So for this time of what the Fillmores would call prayer and right thinking, we are grateful. And so it is, together we all say, Amen. Now this morning in our ministry we're making a U-turn, as over the months we have been with our music, to showing more videos. And the video I've chosen this morning does not exactly have every word that would be compatible with unity, right? It's hard to find lyrics in the collective consciousness that are written